All right, so here we're sitting down with Michelle Schneider, Keith Schneider, and Jeff Fish, where we're covering 3 of the 4 corners of the United States, I think, with us up in Redmond, Washington, you guys down in Santa Fe, New Mexico, Jeff in New Jersey. Thanks so much for joining me today. I appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
So if you guys could, Mish and Keith, tell us about yourselves and MarketGauge. For those that aren't familiar with you and your work, I'm sure many have seen Mish's Market Minute and have followed your writings on StockCharts, but tell us a little bit about you guys and how you started.
Well, actually, Keith and I knew each other from down on the Commodities Exchange in the World Trade Center back in the day. We were both independent traders, and we met and sort of circled around each other through different social means, but we didn't really hook up officially until never mind. Long time ago. And just the
Wait, can I say that we celebrated our 30th wedding anniversary?
Yes, you could say that.
This year?
Because it actually ties into the next part, which is right before we got married, we were looking to hire somebody because we hadn't actually started DataView and MarketGauge officially yet. And then, or did we? No, we hadn't. And then we interviewed Jeff, who was just getting out of college. So we've also have our 30th anniversary with Jeff. So you could say the 3 of us are really family at this point.
Congrats on your 30 years together, all 3 of you then.
Exactly.
Different type of marriages. One business, one not.
So when you started MarketGauge, obviously together, how would you describe MarketGauge and what its purpose is as a product, as a company?
Well, it's a company that's dedicated to trading and investing education. And then we branched out and started building different indicators and trading models. And it's all based on our experience from the floor. So we go back when floor trading was really the high frequency trading of its day. So it was quite an experience, and we were around during historic times. So our risk management is really critical. When you're trading futures as a floor member, you get insane leverage, like 100 to 1. So literally a 1% move can wipe you out. You better know your risk. And so over time, we've also developed a number of trading indicators, which remarkably has appeared now on StockCharts.
Now we get to that. Obviously, I'm super excited that we've been able to partner with you guys. And Mish, it was so great to meet you and start to get to know you guys in your work. And I've read your book, which I very much enjoy. We talk about your philosophy of the different components of the market. Tell me, why are you guys partnering with StockCharts? What is that doing for you?
Well, it's been actually fantastic. I mean, it really started with you and me, Dave, and Gretchen in Vegas at the Traders Expo.
That's right.
When I went up to your room, not knowing what to expect, and wound up with, meeting you and Gretchen, which has been awesome. So that introduced us to StockCharts, and everybody that works for the company that we've met, pretty much everyone at this point, is just great people. And we don't partner too readily with other companies. We've done rev share and affiliate relationships, but an actual partnership is something we've been skeptical about doing. But yet, once we got to see StockCharts platform, how great it is, and then met Chip, and it started to get to know you and watch some of your videos and some of the other videos of your contributors, we really knew that this was going to be a great fit. And of course, I've now been doing the StockCharts TV segment on Thursdays, and then the once a month, your Daily 5. And it's done not only really well in terms of the number of people that view it, but I've had unbelievable amount of love in the commentary, which has been great. It's all about that, all about the love.
That's right. Well, I think you're creating a lot of fans for your work, which is very well deserved. Now, if we could, let's talk a little bit about your plugin, because I think I'm super excited that StockCharts users are going to start to be able to experience directly some of the great work that you guys have done. Tell us a little bit about your plugin. You have 2 indicators that you're providing into ACP. What's included in that plugin, and tell us a little bit how you created it.
Well, I'll introduce what the names are, and then I'll let Keith or Jeff take over from there. But we have two plugins right now. We have Price Performance, which is based on our triple play indicator, and we have Real Motion, which is a momentum indicator. And now I'll let one of the guys explain from there.
Okay, so in terms of looking and doing classic technical analysis, our philosophy is that you really need to incorporate different ways of looking at it. I mean, probably one of the issues that a lot of people have is they're looking at the same information, maybe slightly different, but they're not getting additional perspective. So the idea was always to have a comprehensive view of the price action. And that involves looking at the underlying chart, and the triple play indicator looks at momentum, and it measures it in a unique way. And momentum often precedes price or can tell you when it's really extended. And when you get an extended momentum read along with the confirmation of price, it's really a great lead indicator. And then on top of that, we also like to compare a particular stock or index or commodity against a benchmark. So you understand perspective, and those three things are really what is the concept behind what we've done. And the ACP platform has allowed us to program our indicators in the platform to get this comprehensive read of the markets.
That's fantastic. Now you mentioned, getting it in the ACP platform. I know that you guys have now started to use ACP, able to use it with your plugin. What are your impressions of ACP and how the plugin fits in, having started to use it yourselves?
Well, I did my first segment really using it with it being live on last Thursday, and I thought it was great. In fact, I've been more and more switching from showing any charts from our old platform to the StockCharts and the ACP plugins and all the charts on StockCharts because of its ease of use and its great visibility. But it's fantastic. But I wanted to just say, in terms of what Keith is mentioning, when I did the thing last Thursday, I pointed out that NASDAQ, which had just the day before made a new all-time high, had shown a real divergence with the real motion indicator, and that the momentum was nowhere near the price high. And it was showing that it was getting ripe for some type of correction. And so that's really the value of this, not only to see when something is extended, as Keith said, and the momentum might be waning, but even the reverse, when something is starting to outperform in price, but the momentum hasn't caught up, which I've also pointed out a few weeks on StockCharts. Namely, come to mind would be DBA, the agricultural ETF, which had shown a divergence over the 50-day moving average in the real motion, but didn't actually confirm on the price in terms of getting into a recuperation phase over the 50 until a few days later. So it's fantastic. It's just another great layer. And as Keith mentioned, momentum can either precede or what's the opposite of precede? Whatever the opposite of precede.
Come after it, right?
Yeah, and then the price performance is also great, because if something has been lagging, like for example, let's go back to DBA, the SPY, which is what we use as our benchmark, then we can see that if it starts to outperform, even though the price is still very, very low, and you get the confirmation of the real motion showing you that the divergence is saying that all you need now is the confirmation of a phase change, it's almost a no-brainer.
I'm glad you mentioned just that the relative strength component, looking at it relative to the S&P, because I found working with investors that is a part of the toolkit. I know in the institutional community, that's pretty much all we use because it was so important to what we did. And I found, especially individual investors, advisors could do themselves so much more by focusing on relative strength. And I'm so glad that your plugin has a piece to that, which speaks to that. Who should be using your plugin, or who would be a prime candidate for using these tools?
Well, I think you can really do it for whatever time frame you're trading. I, of course, try to present it as a swing trade. And I think it's great as a swing trade because if you have everything lined up, again, going back to the DBA example, or if you wanted to buy volatility, which we did the day that I showed, the next day that the Qs had now had a diversification against the momentum. You know, you had a good swing trade if you wanted to continue to be short the market or buy the agriculturals. Now, that also could be used for a shorter term momentum trader who wants to maybe catch something for a couple of days, and even a day trade, because even if you bought volatility, let's say last Friday, it exploded, reached profit targets, and you had yourself a nice little day trade. So I'd say it's really for everyone. That's what I'm hoping will happen, that people in StockCharts will realize its value for no matter what kind of trader they want to be.
I would like to add that the StockCharts platform and the indicators are meant to be used in different time frames. So if you're shorter term, it's great. I mean, you can use it, like Mish said, for day trading. And if you want a longer term perspective, you know, go to the weekly and the monthly charts as well. And the principles work. In fact, the best trading methodologies are scalable to multiple different time frames. So those are the most robust, not the ones that you have to tune to a particular time frame and it only works in that. The most robust ones are more universal, using, you know, the correct trading principles and risk management, of course.
That's great. Listen, I hope everyone takes some time to check out your ACP plugin, because I think it's beautifully designed. It speaks really well to your work, and it's been such a pleasure to work with you guys, to partner with you. I look forward to much more, many more good things to come in the future.
Well, we really look forward to working with you and showcasing our, you know, many years of work on a great platform.
Hey, Grayson Rose here with StockCharts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, consider giving it a like down below, maybe leave us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe at the link up above. We're gonna bring you daily content from an incredible collection of technical analysts and financial experts.